Hi friends, my name is Felix Adioye and I'm here today to talk to you about vulnerability. To simply put it, vulnerability, is it a curse or a blessing? Happy viewing. Are you trying very hard to achieve something great and you discover that you are not getting no matter how you try? The simple reason for that is because you have not found the right person who has the right answer to your question. The day you find the right person, that day, your puzzle will be simply unraveled. But how do you find the right person? The simple way is by vulnerability, by being vulnerable. What is vulnerability? Vulnerability simply means openness, to be open without any hypocrisy. If you are not open, you won't find the help that you need. But when you are open, people will come close and give you the help that you need. Yes, I am not saying you should go into the street and begin to tell every Tom, Dick and Harry about who you are. That sounds foolish to do. But there are people planted around your life who are there to help you. People like your spouse, your parents, your trusted friend, neighbors, godly pastor, and God-fearing counselor. There are so many of them that are around you or that are planted on your life journey. When you meet them, you will know them. Just be vulnerable to them. When you are vulnerable to them, they were there to help you. You can only know people who are really interested in you when you are vulnerable. If you are not vulnerable, they won't come by. Yes, that's very true. When you are vulnerable, it could be very scary. Some will reject you, some will even judge you, some will leave you. But I want to assure you that the right people meant to help you, planted to help you, they will take you the way you are. They will never leave you no matter what. They will come closer and do everything to help you get to where you are going. Vulnerability is something you need to get what you need. And not only that, maybe you are struggling to achieve intimacy between you and your spouse, your friend, or any relationship that worth something that is worthwhile in your life. Let me tell you, the simple way to achieve that intimacy, the most honest way, is by being vulnerable. Just be open. Let them know who you are. When you are open, you let them know who you are. They will open as well. Now get me right. There are people in your life that deserve your vulnerability, and there are people who don't deserve your vulnerability. Who are those who do not deserve your vulnerability? There are people you know who will take you for granted, who will exploit your openness, who will use you, dump you, just throw you anyhow. You will see the tendency in their attitude. By the time you discover that, they don't deserve your vulnerability. But when you find yourself in the hand of the right person, when you find yourself in the right and good atmosphere, I want to counsel you, don't hide your vulnerability. Let them know when you are real, when you are open without any hypocrisy, you will find good people who will help you. You need to foster vulnerability. You need to be open. That is it. It's the real key. Listen, the entire creation is filled with thousands of talents and gifts. Thousands, if not even millions. Out of the multiplicity of talents and gifts, how many were given to you? Just 1, 2, 3, maybe at most 4, 5. The rest spread over are given to someone else, given to so many other people. Why is that? Why were you given just a little fraction of it and not everything? The reason is because you are not wired to do everything alone. You are wired to be complemented. The help you need is in the hand of somewhere else there. When you get the right person, they will help you. Struggling and trying to do things on your own, you discover that you make little effort, you make a lot of effort, you put a lot of things in play, and you achieve just little. But when you are able to get the help that you need, you discover that you achieve much within a very short time. And that is the need for vulnerability. If you are not vulnerable, you can't get the people you need. You may find yourself in a very good atmosphere, people who are interested in you, who love you, who want to be successful. But if you are not vulnerable to them, you will not see them opening their mouth to help you. They will think everything is all right. You see, when you pretend everything is all right, at the time you are struggling, everybody will think it's all right. Whereas you are rotting, struggling within you. So you need to be open, be vulnerable so that you can attract the help that you need. You need to foster vulnerability. Yes, it is good for you. I used to think vulnerability is the language of the weakling. Therefore, I didn't want to listen to it. I didn't want to give attention to it when I hear people talking about it. I just block my mind away from it. I want to prove myself to be manly. And for me to do that, I resolved to be independent without seeking anybody's help. But I discovered I was putting a lot of effort into things and I ended up achieving little. Therefore, when I discovered that, I started opening up gradually and I was getting the results. But I want to tell you, my strongest drive to foster vulnerability actually came when I began to attend this program called Pathway to Wholeness, organized by The Voice. I saw my need for vulnerability. And that's why I decided to study this term. When I saw it, I said, I'm going to write about it. And I can say today that vulnerability is never the language of the weaklings. It is the language of the strong. Because it takes strength to be vulnerable. It takes strength for you to overcome your ego and be open. It takes strength to put away your pride and showcase who you are to people, especially to people who are ready to help you. So it's not the language of the weakling. People who find it difficult to foster vulnerability are still being controlled by their ego. But a man or woman who is vulnerable has done everything to overcome his or her pride and ego, then he showed himself up so that people can help. So when you foster vulnerability, you actually overcome your ego. So it is not the language of the weakling, it is the language of the strong. And I want to say, vulnerability is never a curse, it's a blessing. When you begin to foster it, when you begin to practice it, you see how beneficial it is. I need to make this emphasis. Vulnerability should never be practiced to manipulate people. And the motive should never be to impress people. The consequence will be very, very detrimental. Don't try to impress people and then become vulnerable. And don't try to manipulate people with vulnerability so that you can get your own selfish end. The end is always very bitter. Never you do that. When you want to foster vulnerability, let it be purposeful. The question in your mind should not be what I am doing. It should be why am I doing it? What is the purpose behind you? What are you trying to achieve? It should be for a good purpose, a very good purpose that will be beneficial for you and for others. And it's very good when you make vulnerability your lifestyle. When you find yourself in the midst of people who are there to help you, you know you need to get something from these people. You need to benefit from them. Be vulnerable. I am not saying that when you get yourself in the midst of people, just try to vulnerable to get all that you need to get. No, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is that be vulnerable. Let them know you. You also know them. As you benefit from them, they also benefit from you. That is what it means. One thing I discovered that everybody wants to get closer to an open person. When you are open, people will get closer to you. So you are not the only one who will benefit from them. They will also benefit from you. But nobody wants to get closer to somebody who is bound to tightened. Everybody will avoid. But if you are open, you attract open people and they'll be ready to help you. Whereas you too, able to offer something to them. The mess we are in today is because our first parents, Adam and Eve, wanted to be independent of God and they wanted to be independent of themselves. You know what? You all know what happened. They complicated everything. Thank God for Jesus who came and helped us to fix everything. But you must admit that the entire creation is still suffering from their foolishness. You see, I will blame them then, but I will never blame them now. The reason is because we have the choice to get it fixed. We have the choice to get it corrected. Begin to foster vulnerability today. Begin to get yourself open. Try it. Don't complicate matter any longer. When you try to keep things to yourself and then trying to hide yourself even before people God has ordained to help you, you complicate your life. You make things complicated. You don't get anywhere by doing that. But when you begin to practice vulnerability, open yourself and let them see who you are, ask for help, and you discover it is more beneficial. Try practicing vulnerability today. You will discover it is easier than you think. God bless you. I hope to see you soon. Bye.